You didn't ask, but today we're going to be reviewing Wicked for Good.
Four.
This is the finale of the Wicked duology, I guess is what it would be. The Wicked story. We're going to start off with the spoiler free, and then we're going to hop into spoilers. All the we're gonna hold space for all the spoilers.
We totally are.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's a fire callback to the first movie.
Sure, Jan.
Wicked for Good, spoiler free. What are you giving the movie out of 10?
Okay, so we saw it last night, and so I've let it settle. I think I'm gonna say 9 out of 10.
Oh my God. 9 out of 10?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a 6 or a 7 out of 10. Maybe leaning towards 7, maybe 7.5, but we'll see how long it actually stays up here. Yeah, I'd probably give it like a 6 or a 7, maybe leaning towards 7. Overall, I think Wicked for Good was fun. It was cinematic. It was paced.
Action-packed.
Yeah, action packed. The thing is, it was like Wicked for Good was paced really well, but not really well at the same time.
You
Like,
know what? I
we-
have
like-
to agree with you on that. Like, I feel like the beginning was a bit slow for me, and it was kind of taking a
Well,
moment for me to
yeah,
get
yeah,
into it. But
because-
then once, like,
Yeah, because it kind of
action
like
happened.
they kind of had to tread on what the first movie did again, kind of getting you back into the groove of like everything that was happening.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a wicked witch, and it's like, okay, we already know that. But for me, it was more that it was pretty fast paced. There was a lot that was happening in this movie. They steamrolled through this shit like quickly.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot that's happening, but it almost feels like, and it's a long movie, and I felt it. Like there's a couple times where I was like, oh, okay, we're ending, and it just didn't end. And I was like, okay, so we're ending now, and then we didn't end again. So there's a couple times where I was like, like this feels like it's too long. But then there's also times where I was like, we need an extra hour, because there was a lot of plot lines that just got started in this movie and then just completely fell off the
I really
cliff.
have to agree, and I can't wait to get into it in the spoiler
Yeah.
place. I can't wait to touch on that more when we get into the spoiler portion of this review, but I would have to agree. Like, I feel like you said, it was a little bit slow for me in the beginning, and I was like, okay, when am I going to get into it? When am I like,
Yeah.
but then once it started, I was like, I don't want it to end.
I
feel different.
I was ready for it. I was ready for it.
Oh, I wasn't. I was like, well, every time I felt like it was going to be the end, I was like, oh no. And then it wasn't the end, but then it was the end.
I was pretty ready for this thing to be done. I think they had some really great action. They had really great set pieces. I don't think the music in Wicked for Good was honestly better than the first Wicked.
Yeah.
There's I guess the For Good song, which was pretty catchy, but besides that, like,
I feel like the iconic songs are in the first movie, and
Yeah.
I feel like
I think that's the way
this movie was less of the music. Well, I mean, obviously, it still had a big musical aspect, but compared to the first one, I feel like the first one was very focused on music.
Wicked was more of a musical sing along, like, oh, we're gonna have hype music where you're all gonna want to dance and sing to it. And then Wicked for Good is more of the cinematic musical, where it's like the music is there to help push the plot and the themes forward more. That's the best way to put it. I don't know. I'm not a big musical connoisseur, but that's kind of the way I felt. Where there wasn't like a song where I was like, whoa, that shit is catchy. Like, I kind of forgot every single song the moment I walked out of there.
That's okay. Okay. I mean, I definitely agree in the sense of, like I said, the first one definitely had better music, but I feel like that's because the first movie was, like you said, very music heavy versus the second one, which is like getting the plot.
Yeah, it's also because it's a lot more of like an upbeat, you know, it's kind of almost like a dramedy. It's like a drama comedy, the first one, where it's like they're going to school together and they're the bully and the weird girl, and they're gonna become friends. It's like your class, but then it's like, oh, we're actually the Wizard of Oz, and then it basically turns into that. So
Yeah,
it was
The first movie is definitely, we've talked about this, like the first movie we find is like a lot like a lot more lighthearted versus the second one is like where you get really into like the deep themes.
Yeah.
And so
Which is interesting though, because I think a lot of people, and I think like looking at it on a surface level, the first one is the better movie. Just like it's better paced, it's better characters, better developed, and better paced. Like because I actually felt the first one was a lot slower, and there was a lot of points where I was like trying to not fall asleep in that first one, while in the second one, like I was like kicking it. I was like, okay, yeah, this is good.
so funny to see the different like movie viewers because I found the first one better, but I don't know if it's because of the music in it. And another thing that I find that maybe I like the first one more is because it's so much more brighter, colorful. I don't know if it draws my eye more, but then versus the second one, the word of the day is like dark. Like I feel like the second movie, it just felt
Yeah, but I think
the color scheming felt darker.
yeah,
Versus the first one.
well, first of all, the themes and the storyline are just a lot darker in the second one.
Yeah.
You can just know that by watching the movie. But I think in the play also, like that's like what happens. Like doing research, like the
Yeah.
first act or whatever, which was the
Things
first movie,
change.
like it's a very light, upbeat, and then it turns.
Yeah.
But what was interesting is I saw a breakdown of the play. And the second act is only 60 minutes long. So the fact that they stretched out 60 minutes, the fact that Wicked for Good stretched out what was a 60-minute act in the musical into 2 hours and 45 minutes, but still felt like it would needed more time to develop its characters and its plot more is kind of where the movie lost me. Like we were sitting there for 2 hours and 45 minutes, and there was at least 2 or 3 plot points in my head throughout the entire movie. I was like, are we ever going to come back to these plot points? Because I want to see how they come to fruition. I want to see, the ending to these characters' arcs, and we just never do.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of where I was like, And don't tell me, um, don't tell me to go watch Wizard of Oz. Wicked for Good sets up a lot of plot lines and has a lot of tie-ins to the Wizard of Oz. But you cannot tell me to go watch The Wizard of Oz to get the finale to those character arcs because they are separate characters. They're not canon. They have completely new and different motivations from what happened in Wizard of Oz. So going and watching Wicked for Good and being like, oh, I'm just gonna go watch Wizard of Oz to fill in the blank is literally like watching Spider-Man and then being like, oh, well, Batman's a superhero. I'll just go watch Batman and it'll fill in the blank. Like, no, like, that's just not.
You kind of meant we talked about this earlier about how you felt like they're just like different universes. Like it's different, and which is
this is a new
something that I don't exactly love. I haven't seen the play since I was like maybe 7, or the musical. I haven't seen that since I was 7, so I don't remember much of Wicked the musical.
Yeah.
But so I can't compare the movie with the musical. My bad. Don't worry, I'm seeing it soon.
The thing is like the movie needs to stand on its own. You can't be like, well, the musical did it this way, but there's 2 different mediums.
Yeah.
There's 2 exactly different mediums, and you can't rely on someone seeing the musical and being like, well, the musical did it that way. Well, guess what? It doesn't work in film.
Mentioned, like you said, the play is 60 minutes, and they obviously had to add the Act 2 is 60 minutes, so they had to stretch that 60 minutes.
But they still didn't like give us enough. Yeah, they still, because it's like they stretched the pieces that didn't need to be stretched as much. And because we'll get into the spoilers, but what parts I think they did and didn't.
I think we'll agree with
a couple,
but like I think you're being a bit dramatic about how.
Well, I think the thing is because like as someone who's not really a big musical fan and isn't like a big Wicked fan, I was really expecting Wicked for Good to be like the action-packed cinematic finale, and it had all the pieces there for it, but it felt like they kind of just dropped the ball. It felt like a little bit rushed in certain aspects where I was like, I don't know.
Can we get to it in the spoiler? Because I'm very curious what other things you think.
Do you think Wicked for Good is a good addition to the Wizard of Oz franchise?
I think it's a good addition to the franchise, but I do think maybe it can be executed a little bit differently. I wish the stories matched up more.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just like talking like base level of the Wicked storyline. It would be cool if it matched a little bit more with Wizard of Oz. That way, you could go watch Wizard of Oz and be like, "Oh, now I know, like
You
you
wish
connect."
it fit together like a puzzle, but they don't. There's
Yeah,
weird.
which is fine, but the fact that there's nothing else there, like there's nothing for me to be like, okay, I want to see more about this character. I'll go watch this or watch this play. No, it's just I'm just like, okay, well, I guess I just won't ever really care about that character anymore.
Yeah, I guess something that kind like I know I can't compare like the Wicked franchise with like let's say the Hunger Games or
Yeah.
something. They're two totally different genres,
Yeah,
but I feel like with the Hunger Games, what I've noticed with them making so obviously we had the trilogy, right? That all fit together because she wrote it that way. But now she's coming out with prequels and, whatever in specific books about certain characters but it all fits together. Like there's no like, oh, but what happened here?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't know how to explain it. She just ties the whole story together in a little bow and she continues to do it over and over again. I just kind of wish Wicked and The Wizard of Oz kind of made that little bow too.
yeah, no, they won't, and that's definitely
it
gonna.
sucks.
And I think that will upset some fans, and I think other fans are happy that it can stand on its own without the knowledge of Wizard of Oz. Wicked for Good makes such a big deal of the connections to Wizard of Oz, but then strays away from actually showing you any connections. So
Yeah.
like it shows you it'll make it a big plot point throughout the entire movie, and then it'll like dip its toe in that lake, and then it won't actually let you jump in. So it kind of just teases you of it, which is fine, but then don't make it such an enormous piece of the film, and setting it up and setting up the characters and how that all comes together. I think that was the problem. In Wicked for Good, the filmmakers make you feel like the Wizard of Oz plotline is going to have such a big impact on the story, and in reality, they only dip their toe in that lake. And I thought that was really disappointing. I know that's how it happens in the musical, but I don't think it worked as well on film.
They
Mostly
do that.
yeah, they had the time to do it, and I just didn't really feel like they really capitalized on that. I would have rather them, if they were going to take that route, just like really put that in the background and make it more of like teases, or make it more of like, oh, you catch it on the second watch, or they mention it and it's like, oh, cameo, but like they actually made it like a big part of this, and I didn't really like how that kind of went. We'll talk into those reasons, but
I have to say, like, I feel like that's truly the only issue I had with the movie is just like I feel like I had so many questions about the tie between the two.
and we didn't get
and we didn't really we got crumbs.
Yeah.
Like we didn't get the whole cookie, you know.
Yeah. All right, well, let's just talk spoilers. 'Cause I think at this point we're ready to talk spoilers.
Yeah,
So
let's do it.
yeah, so the Wizard of Oz plot line, it's cool because you can see, obviously, there's all the theories from the first Wicked movie about the lion becoming a cowardly lion, and Ferrero, whatever the hell his name is,
Yeah, for
becoming the Scarecrow, Bach becoming the Tin Man, obviously with the
Nessa.
no, Nessa becoming, I guess, yeah, the Wicked Witch of the East. But with the musical, we know that was going to happen. It was cool seeing all that play out, but they really build it up in this movie because these are characters that we saw throughout the entire first movie and were built up to be like super main characters in the second movie. And then when you turn them into like a famous Wizard of Oz character, you're like, whoa, this is really cool. And for people who didn't know that, they're going to be like crazy that Wicked for Good is turning characters that you build up through 3 hours of movie at this point into a Wizard of Oz character. But then it's almost like they turn to Wizard of Oz character. That way the filmmakers don't have to finish their arc. And it's like, that's just not like, if I don't know anything about Wizard of Oz, I'm just going to be so disappointed that the characters that I love, their character arcs and their moments were completely cut out of the film. And it's like,
yeah,
what?
I mean, I feel like as you explain that, I'm kind of like, but I know that Wicked and the Wizard of Oz like are almost two different stories, but I am kind of like I see why they didn't really focus on that because you do know the original story, but it's also like I personally was dying to see like Dorothy's face and
Yeah.
see them together more other than the mob
Well,
scene.
yeah.
Like I wanted no, it's
Here's the other thing.
more.
If Wicked for Good isn't technically canon to Wizard of Oz, then why did Wicked for Good not show Dorothy's face and try to make it the original actress from the original movie? Because then you're saying they're connected, and it's like, what is it? Is it connected? Is it not connected? Do you just want it as a cameo? Then, like, why is it such a main character or a character that you're building up to be a main character? I mean, there's literally plot points that are built in this movie about the Wizard of Oz storyline connecting with this, and it just kind of felt out of place. It felt kind of like
I was, you know what? It's a good way to put it. Is like it felt out of place. It felt like you just got hints of it here and then, and then you're like, oh yay, okay, like this is like a cool, different like side plot, and then you're like, oh okay, so we learned absolutely nothing.
Yeah, the best part of the way to put it is that somehow Wicked for Good made the Wizard of Oz plotline feel out of place in a Wizard of Oz based movie. Like every time something was happening, it almost felt like Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, where it was like cameos popping up on the screen. It just felt like cameos popping up on the screen. It was like, oh, did you catch that? That's the Wizard of Oz thing. Oh, that's the Wizard of Oz thing. But it's like instead of actually just being cameos that pop up and go away, they're like main plot points. And then our main characters that we built up throughout the entire first movie and then built up in this movie get turned into those characters, like Bach turning into the Tin Man. And we don't get to see legitimately anything. And also, Ethan Slater as Bach and the Tin Man was actually like my favorite part of this movie. Like that scene was absolutely stunning. His acting was awesome. It was so cool seeing his range, which we don't normally get to see. And the fact that literally we got like 10 seconds of that range and then they just like, we're like, oh, you don't want to see him anymore, right? Like, and it's fuck you. I do want to see him.
And I
want to see SpongeBob. Bring me back SpongeBob. Bring SpongeBob back to the screen.
Actually going off of that point of SpongeBob, like you see Ethan Slater as like, I don't want to be mean, but like you see him as like the guy that plays SpongeBob, the cheater with his wife and Ariana. But for some reason, like when he transforms into that Tin Man, it's just like all that goes out the window, and you're like, no, like that man's real. Like that is a real Tin Man.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It's funny because
Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and then he plays something, and you're like, oh, that's Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
No.
But then like Ethan Slater.
You
see Ethan Slater as a Munchkin.
Yes.
But then when you see him as the Tin Man, and I know it's because
the Tin Man.
It's like a complete, even like, for example, like I feel like sometimes other films can't get away from that. Like I hate to say Dwayne The Rock Johnson again, but like him as Maui in Moana, it's like I don't see Maui still. Even though it's like a completely different cartoon, you hear Dwayne The Rock Johnson's voice.
I think that's actually a really good comparison because I just watched Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, and one of my big critiques was that I couldn't help but just see Jacob Elordi as the monster. And every scene, I just saw Jacob Elordi underneath all of that. Well, there really didn't feel like there was that much prosthetic work on him. It just felt like it was Jacob Elordi walking around in a loincloth. But when Ethan Slater turns into the Tin Man, I was sold. I was like, that, first of all, they made that costume feel badass.
And the way that he functioned with it, the walk, like the frustration, like, oh my God, he just nailed it. And like, I think that's why we are all so frustrated about not seeing more of the Wizard of Oz point.
Because the characters and the acting were so great, mostly with him. Because I was going to say the Cowardly Lion was like literally in one scene. Like, I didn't literally, like, you could have taken him out of the movie and I don't think anyone would have cared. Like, and also the Cowardly Lion, the first and only scene that it's really in, all the animals are leaving Oz, right? The land of Oz. Yeah. And in Wicked for Good, the Cowardly Lion stands up and tells all the animals what they should be doing. What the fuck? That is not the Cowardly Lion. That is like that's not the Cowardly Lion.
Performative. Wait, that's performative.
Yeah, Cowardly Lion ain't cowardly. That's performative. Call him out on his bullshit. Because what the hell? I thought you were cowardly. Like, okay, you're cowardly because you want to leave on.
But he don't got stage fright.
Yeah, right. Fucking not a stage fright. Doing stupid ass line. Fucking. Stick to the script, Lion. You're cowardly. Be cowardly, you little bitch. Anyway,
I just know the Cowardly Lion would not be scared of you. Can I just say that?
I beat the shit out of that lion.
No, I promise you, you wouldn't. That lion would eat you up and spit you out and then poop on you.
I beat the shit out of that lion, and then
No,
and
you
then
wouldn't.
other
No.
cast members, Spencer would come up, get absolutely mauled without even a second.
What?
Jory might not even make it to the den, and that guy Justin is off getting zins, so he's not even making it to the lion.
He
den.
offers the lion a zin, but
And
then the lion like tries to take it out of his hand, but then it eats his whole hand, and then but then the lion sucks him up like spaghetti.
You hear that, Justin?
Like all I do every time I'm on the podcast is make fun of Justin.
Who's got the best drip, the lion or Justin?
Comment below.
Who's got the better drip, the Tin Man or the podcast member Justin?
I think
we all know it's the Tin Man, but let us know. No one's gonna watch that part. Anyway, so yeah, that was something, and it's funny because like that is like in the grand scheme of what the way that Wicked for Good went, like that's such a small point. We haven't even talked about Elphaba and
oh my god, we've literally we've really just talked about
overall, Wicked for Good just disappointed me with the way that they lazily handled Wicked for Good just kind of disappointed me with the way that they kind of lazily handled the Wizard of Oz franchise within it. It really just felt like they knew that it had the connections and they just wanted to kind of throw it in there so you could see the connections, but they wanted it to be a big piece of the story, but then they didn't commit to it. And it just kind of felt very all over the place with where they were going with this story.
You know,
Dorothy's literally sitting in that little dungeon, hearing them sing up there. And I'm like, you got a little girl trapped underneath there. You gonna do something about that?
Well, you know what I was thinking, that I was kind of disappointed that they didn't show, of course, having to do with the Wizard of Oz, is that when Dorothy, like the house lands on Nessa, did we see Nessa's feet? No. Like, am I crazy? I'm like, why aren't they showing the most iconic like shot of her feet out? And then not to mention,
by the time that Elphaba gets there, Dorothy's already gone with the slippers.
Well, but yeah, that's what I'm trying to say is that why didn't they show that?
Yeah, I agree.
We wanted to see Glinda talk to Dorothy. I know. Oh my god, it's not in the play. Oh my god. But like we had to stretch this movie, you know what I mean? And it's like you can't tell me you couldn't have put, even if it was faceless Dorothy, like, you know,
faceless Dorothy was kind of stupid and Wicked for Good.
Was disappointed. I understand why they did it, but I'm not saying I agree with it.
Yeah, I just think like if it didn't really feel like it felt cheesy. It kind of took me out of the film because I was like, you were trying so hard to make this or trying to make it faceless and not show the face of Dorothy that it's coming off like a really, really
mysterious.
No, it's coming off really
cheesy.
Yeah, it's coming off really cheesy and kind of like strict. Not strict. It's coming off very like scripted. Yeah, it's coming off very cheesy and scripted. Like obviously it's a movie, but I shouldn't feel like I'm watching a movie when I'm seeing a movie. But like Dorothy's POV, oh, what the? That was so out of left.
What?
When the monkey grabs her and you just instead of just seeing her going to take it away, you get her POV with her arms out. I'm like, what?
I just kind of wished I saw the
you know what? I don't even care. I don't even care if we saw more Dorothy. I want to see the other guys because
that's exactly what I was just about to say. I wish we kind of saw the camaraderie.
Yeah,
with those.
I don't even.
I kind of wonder. I mean,
where did they go?
I know. I was like, I would have liked to see. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, Glinda and Elphaba, I thought their relationship throughout the movie was pretty good. Sometimes I didn't really understand how they got to, it felt like we were at point A and then we skipped over point B and we were at point C and then we were at point D and then we were at F and I was like, whoa, we're like, this is
a rocky friendship.
Yeah, but it was like all over the place, but it also didn't. Sometimes it felt natural. I was like, okay, yeah, but then sometimes it didn't feel natural.
In reality, girls, let's think about it. Guys, too, let's think about it. Okay, so I'm about to marry who I think is the love of my life. And then all of a sudden, a whole zoo stampedes into my wedding. And who I thought was going to be my husband runs away with a green witch. Like,
Yeah.
I would literally be so pissed. And like, for some reason, Galinda is so forgiving, and she's like, but she loves him. I'm like, oh no, you're dead to me, Elphaba.
I will say, I know it was built up in the first one. I thought in Wicked for Good, the romance between Elphaba and
Fiera.
in Wicked for Good, I thought the romance between Elphaba and Fiero was way rushed, and Fiero's crazy eyes when they're like singing together, like I'm like, yo, bro, you didn't see that? Like, I'll show you some memes because I've been seeing some memes about it. I'm like, I know.
It's rushed, but also it's because
What's his name? Fiero? How do you spell it?
No, I think it's Fi. Oh, Angela from fucking Big Brother.
It's just
We deserve each other, me a Bach.
Just looking at things
Like-
a bit differently. Elphaba. Yeah. I love you, Elphaba.
yeah. See, like I noticed in the movie, I was like, why are you so intent with your eyes? Like,
I feel like if that was happening in front of me, I'd be like,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of thought it was a little rushed. It kind of just went from like,
I mean,
oh,
it was
marrying
just a
Belinda.
it was a forbidden love, it felt like, he had feelings for her.
Yeah, I would have liked it.
All built up when he saw her.
Do you think Ariana Grande should be nominated and win an Oscar for her portrayal of Galinda in Wicked for Good?
Absolutely. I think, maybe I'm biased because I do love Ariana Grande, but actually, I have to say, like we talked about with like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, like usually when a celebrity, especially like she was previously a pop star and everybody knows it and that's what they know her for. But when she plays Galinda, like I don't see Ariana Grande. I see Galinda like that. Like I don't feel like it's an actor playing her. Like Ariana Grande is Galinda.
Yeah.
Galinda is Ariana Grande. So I also know that she did a lot of prep for this role. When it came to like singing, and she had to go to a vocal coach to broaden her range, I'm pretty sure is what she said in an interview before. It was like her dream to play Galinda. I mean, maybe I'm just being empathetic, but I'm just like, I think somebody who puts their entire being into a character for like 3 years, 3 years, like maybe 4. I don't know when they started filming this, but because it was during COVID. No, was it COVID? Yeah.
COVID is when I got pushed.
And so it's like to do so much for one role that she's so passionate about. And like I said, she just handles like the character with such grace and
No, sorry. I yawn.
But I don't know, I just think she really is amazing. She's a great actress, amazing, phenomenal. I can't even like put it into words. She's a phenomenal singer, phenomenal actor. Like, I wish I could come up with more words to express how I feel, but I do think she's very deserving of this role, of this award.
Yeah, I think she could be nominated and I wouldn't be upset with it. When I'm not sure, I'd have to like look at like who would end up getting nominated and really decide from there. I think her role was good. I enjoyed it. I don't know if she showed as much range from like, because I feel like Galinda's character is very bubbly, very happy. Even if she's sad, like her the way that she talks and expresses herself is Galinda the good. Like that's her whole thing. She's always trying to be good and be happy. She's kind of like that Mr. Squibb or whatever from the new Smiling Friends episode.
Right.
Anyway, so like, but I also kind of sometimes when I'm thinking about who should win an Oscar, I want to see like the low lows and the way you can really transform your voice and your face and your character to fit the low lows and the high highs. And I don't know if she hit those high highs and low lows as well as maybe other people. I don't have to look, but I honestly wouldn't be opposed to her. I think she could be nominated and probably will be nominated, and I would be happy with that. Win? I wouldn't be opposed if she won, but I also wouldn't really be like upset if she didn't win.
I honestly would be upset if she didn't win. Why? Like, who do you think would be deserving of it other than
A
her?
best actress.
Yes.
So I would say Emma Stone's probably up there for Britannia. I don't know if Emma Stone kind of has the same problem, but yeah.
No, I think
ooh,
her. I think Ariana Grande.
Chase Infinity in One Battle After Another was also really, really good, and also a newcomer to the acting world. So
It's time to step into it.
I think she should beat out Ariana Grande. That would be hype.
We are not watching together. We're not watching with the Oscars. We're not watching the Oscars together because you're just
Elle Fanning from Predator Badlands should win.
No, let's wait for Elle Fanning. Is it or is it Dakota that plays a young Effie in the new Hunger Games? I can't get the Fannings right.
I don't know. It might be.
Can't get the
Elle Fanning's kind of in any. Also, real quick, we got to mention. Is anyone else noting that like McKenna Grace is like in everything right now? Like that girl is
killing it. She's booked.
She's booked.
She's booked.
I feel like every movie trailer I see, she's in, and I didn't even know who she was until like a couple months ago, and I'm like,
what? She is in like a crazy, like broad, like she's in romance, and now she's gonna be in the Hunger Games, and now she's what other one is she gonna be in?
She's in 5 Nights at Freddy's.
Yes, like 3 totally different movies,
and she's in more. There's another one. Yeah. There's another one where I was like,
well, she's been acting forever.
I'm like, what do you? I'm like, you were booked.
Yeah, she's booked in video.
You have any time off?
No.
Go girl.
Well, because she's also in so the Mason Thames, is that his name? They're in 2 of the same movies that are so they were in Forgetting You, and then there's another one. I forget what.
And I also think McKenna Grace is like voices like a character. I feel like I don't know. She's in everything.
No, that's the girl, Jenna, that voices Megan. Is that who you're thinking of?
I have no idea. No.
Because I got them confused for a while. Yeah.
So anyway, just a tangent because I was like, we're watching the trailers and I was like, McKenna Grace again?
No, it's literally insane, but good for her.
Yeah, good for you. I mean, you're
so pretty.
Yeah, and you're killing it too. So
yes. She's freaking got it all. I want to hear her sing.
Yeah, can
we need triple threat. So she's pretty. She's
I want to see her hunting like a predator. I want her.
No, she will. Oh my God, you need to see the new Hunger Games. It hasn't even probably been finished editing, but the trailer came out.
I think Cynthia Erivo deserves a nomination and win at the Oscars for her portrayal as Elphaba in Wicked for Good. I'm going to say same thing as Ariana Grande. I could see it. I think she did great. I think she had a lot of range. I would definitely say a nomination would be in order for her.
Totally.
Will a win come?
I would agree. I think she's definitely going to get a nomination, but a win, I'm not 110% sure. But I do think that her vocals throughout the entire franchise, like both movies, have been phenomenal, amazing, like untouchable.
Yeah.
Like I strongly feel like nobody could do Elphaba better.
Yeah, I think
than Cynthia, but I think just with all the movies that have come out, I mean, there might be somebody that could top it, you know?
Yeah, I think again, it's kind of hard to pick right now. I could say nomination. We'll see about the win when the Oscars come out and the list comes out. Who is your favorite character in Wicked for Good?
Oh, my favorite character.
Mine was Bach and the Flying Monkey.
I knew you were gonna say the Flying Monkey.
I loved Bach, and I wish we had a little bit more of him. SpongeBob was doing great wonders in this movie.
That's not SpongeBob anymore. That's the Tin Man.
And the Flying Monkey was cool. So
of course.
I liked him.
Of course. Same guy that's like Predator Badlands. Is anybody surprised? I hate to say it because it sounds so basic. And I saw people, it's Galinda, but I feel like the reason for that is she's like everything I want to be. She's so positive. Even when people do her the most dirty, stealing her man and ruining her wedding, she's still rises above.
On that too, Ariana Grande was looking good in this one.
She was.
She played the role well, and it looked like she was having a blast and everything. So
yeah. She's just her. Ariana
Him.
Grande.
Bad movie. Him is a terrible movie. Jory, Spencer, you know it. If you've been watching the podcast, which we don't know who is, we all know I'm a him hater. Bad movie. Anyway,
Yeah, so I think it's Glinda, but I did see a lot of controversy. I was looking up because throughout the movie, I'm like, am I supposed to feel bad for Elphaba? Like, I do understand because by the end of the first movie, I was very much like Elphaba. But then but during the second movie, as it continued, I was like, okay, like this has gone on too far, too long. Like you're ruining people's lives. And I just like,
yeah.
I don't know. I just was starting to not feel bad. Did you just burp in my face? Stop. And people were saying on Reddit, like Glinda is truly the villain. Like and I was like, well, I don't like think about it. They were so, Elphaba wanted to expose the truth about the wizard and free the animals and give them their voices back and everything. And I was like totally for it. But then like I also understand where Glinda, like this was her dream.
Right.
And she doesn't want to, she keeps flashing back to her as a little girl and she's like, I have to do it for her. I have to do it for her almost. And it's like, I understand. Like
it's because they're morally great characters. Wicked for Good is just some morally great characters, and that's the best part.
It's like
on that note though, in Wicked for Good, there was a couple plot lines that I feel like really just fell off the cliff. Like they did not really touch on them. The first one would be the Wizard of Oz.
Wow. We all knew that.
Yeah, so the first one is the Wizard of Oz, kind of like what the hell? I can't think of the word. The Wizard of Oz implement. The first one is the Wizard of Oz implementation. I kind of feel like they like teased it. They made it set up, and then they as a really big thing, and they kind of just like flew past it because they didn't want to like really touch on that stuff. Might have worked in the musical. I didn't think it worked in the movie. Number 2 was the animals getting stolen and losing their voice. They really just we did not really talk about that. Like she lets loose the animals, like.
Yeah.
And like I don't even know if it was really talked about much more than like 10 minutes in this movie, when I remember it being like a very big heavy blanket over the first one of like this underlying kind of fear, and it's just like, oh, okay. Number 3, the wizard and everything about him and him being Elphaba's father literally happens like that. And
God, I know, literally,
and had
it's like,
absolutely it had no impact on the movie and the viewer. It was such a quick thing. It was like I literally wouldn't have cared if you didn't put it in there. So like those 3 things, like I honestly felt like they had the potential and they really didn't like hit home.
Yeah, you know what? Now that you bring that up about the wizard finding out that he's Elphaba's father, like literally, I swear that part is not even a minute long. He literally sits there. He's like, oh.
Yeah, that's literally.
Hey, done.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
That's
like
it.
We don't know how he felt after.
Literally.
Or
there's no character arc. No character arc. Like no one gets a character arc in Wicked for Good besides Glinda and Elphaba. And every other character, you get halfway through their character arc and they just like forget about them. And I'm like, do we need a third 3-hour movie? Like what?
He barely gave any reaction. He was just like, oh.
Jeff Goldblum. He gave the normal Jeff Goldblum like reaction.
Well, I think Jeff Goldblum really nailed
Wizard.
Great. He was awesome.
No,
I couldn't imagine anybody else playing him.
Every actor in Wicked for Good did absolutely phenomenal. There wasn't a single person except
that didn't make.
I will say there's a couple times Michelle Yeoh. Michelle Yeoh kind of was like.
This is where we did not agree.
Well, I can understand your points, but I think there's other points where it was just like maybe it was her singing, maybe it was just like the way she said certain like lines, even if she was lying or not lying in character. It kind of seemed a little forced. And I love Michelle Yeoh. I just don't know if maybe she was trying to play up the character lying a lot, that it kind of made me feel like it was lying. I don't know. So that's why I'm saying maybe it is her, maybe it's not her.
Maybe she could have like.
It didn't feel like
did it better in a sense of like, because I know exactly what you're talking about when she's like, it's the witch. She's trying to kill us.
It felt. You know what it is? Michelle Yeoh felt like she was acting for a musical in a movie. Like she was acting for the play.
Oh, that's
my like. she's going to kill us. And it's like, what the fuck? Shut the
Yeah,
fuck
so
up.
I feel like there was just maybe a different way that she could have implemented
Yeah, portrayed
that.
very-
Yeah, portrayed that especially that line.
Yeah.
Because I knew where you were coming from when we were
Yeah.
talking about. You were like, that was awful. And I was like, no, I think it's supposed to be like,
She's
I see through you. Like
she's lying. Yeah, she's
yeah.
just like a bad liar, but everyone's believing her. But then they never really touched on it again about her being like a bad liar. Like it kind of was never played up for jokes or anything.
Got taken away by the monkeys.
Yeah, like
something,
what?
right?
Where's yeah? It was she got taken.
Yeah,
Overall,
that was
last question I think I have. What was your favorite scene in Wicked for Good?
oh my goodness. My favorite scene.
My favorite scene was when Bach turned into the Tin Man. I thought that was such a cool. I was like, dude, this is sick. Like, this is gonna be a great movie. It's a good thing that we didn't get any more of that throughout the entire thing. It was that paired to when the Wizard of Oz crew went into the Land of Oz or the town, city, whatever the fuck it's called, Emerald City. When the Wizard of Oz went to Emerald City and Bach is like, or Tin Man is like, I'm gonna kill her, and thank God I don't have a heart.
I love
And I
that
was like,
part. Yeah.
I can't
But
wait to
it's
see
just
this.
sad that-
I was like, I can't wait to see this, and then I didn't see it. So I was like, okay.
No, that was kind of disappointing. I really wanted to see more. Well, we talked about it. I know,
We'll talk about that, yeah.
talking about how, like, in the original Wizard of Oz, we don't remember the Tin Man being so rageful and like in the
Yeah,
movie.
he's not, yeah.
But like, I liked him rageful.
No, I thought it was
I
cool.
liked it, and I wanted to see, like you said, I wanted to see more of the Wizard of Oz plot in Wicked, despite it not being touched on a lot in the play or in the musical. Sorry, in the musical.
What up, Tin Man? All right, what's your favorite scene?
Okay. I think my favorite scene was
Wait, hold on, real quick. Let me just expand. Another reason why I liked that scene with Bach was because I really liked how Elphaba and her sister interacted and seeing how Elphaba was trying to help and whatnot, and this is what she could do, and the magic and the grimoire or whatever, and like, and I just really I think it like brought home everything that I like about Wicked with the magic, with the relationships, with turning someone who's doing something good and then turning it into something bad, and the fact that being wicked isn't always about being the villain. It's also, you know, Nessa was kind of being wicked, and then Bach and all this stuff. I did.
Yeah.
There was like a really cool culmination of everything. So that's why I liked it. Anyway, go.
okay, I think my favorite scene, this is gonna sound a little bit nutty. Do you know? Can
The
you
fight
guess?
between-
Yeah, I loved the fight between Glinda and Elphaba.
It was a good scene. I thought it was.
I just like, yeah, I thought it was really fun, but it was also like not too serious,
Yeah.
you know? And that's like my perfect kind of fight scene.
Yeah.
Nothing too intense, but I also just liked seeing Glinda almost like stick up for herself and like
Yeah.
try to, I don't know.
Because she doesn't
And
actually
and I also can't blame her. I mean, this was after Fiyero it was after Fiyero pretty much like was following Elphaba wherever she
Yeah.
went. Like he was committed to her. So I was kind of like fight because girl, I'd be fighting for
For
Fiyero.
budget, Orlando Bloom.
What? Jonathan Bailey was voted sexiest man.
Am I the only one? Okay, am I the only one in Wicked for Good who thought Jonathan Bailey as Fiyero looked like Ryan Reynolds when he became Scarecrow? And then I also felt like throughout the movie, I kept seeing Orlando Bloom from Pirates of the Caribbean, and I was like, this guy is like not his own person.
Okay.
Am I the only one?
I think so.
Okay.
But I do have an honorable mention. And I know this is a little controversial, especially after everything we've said, but I think I just liked like the cinematography of it was when Glinda was hiding in the closet and it showed Dorothy's shadow and
That was cool.
Elphaba's. I love the way that was portrayed because I mean we had seen faceless Dorothy a million times, and I feel like that was like a very interesting way
Yeah.
to portray that scene.
I think that was fun. I think that was cool.
That was
My
different.
biggest problem with that scene was like,
You wanted to see it all.
well, no, I don't even care about that because I think it was a cool way. It felt very play. It felt very much like the way the musical would show.
It's perfect.
No, I think it was good. I think it's a good way to pay homage to the play.
Yeah.
What I don't like is like, where did, like, I know they talk about the rumor, but like, why did the rumor of her dying from water come? Like, and why would anyone ever fucking believe that?
That's so true because I have been thinking about this since the first Wicked, and maybe somebody can explain it to us, but like she's dancing on. You remember there was like this like little pond shiz, and she's hopping in between like these little things, and like, but it's like there's water there.
Did they set
It's
that
like,
in the first one that she couldn't touch water?
I
don't remember.
Not remember, but
Let us know because I'm not a big Wicked fanboy, but like, was it set up a lot in the Wicked movies, not the musical, not like outside of the movies that she like will die from water, or is it just in Wicked for Good? They were like, I heard it because they say in like the
and
the
did
town,
it go on a
the
boat
villagers.
to go over to
Yeah, but the village, yeah.
Dust like.
But the villagers say they're like, I heard a rumor that if you pour water on her, her soul is so evil that it will melt away. I'm like, why would that actually be the way you
said that?
But anyway, it doesn't really matter because she's alive. So anyway,
The elixir. Green elixir. That's like a really good song. I missed that one. That one was amazing in the first one. Okay, so what was your favorite song from Wicked for Good?
my two were probably For Good and March of the Witch Hunters. March of the Witch Hunters is like such an epic moment and everything. I think it was pretty cool. It's like
Cinematic.
very cinematic, and it's got my boy Bach, the Tin Man, in it. So
You love yourself some
I love
Bach.
myself some SpongeBob.
God. Mine's probably Wonderful. And that was another scene that I really thoroughly enjoyed. Like I found myself like smiling because it was just so cute. And I don't know, I really, really like that
Yeah.
one.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
So overall, Wicked for Good was good.
I think it was great. Even if you have some, opinions on it. I think from like if we're watching from a normal like person that isn't really dissecting this movie, I think this is absolutely amazing. And I think that's sometimes how you have to look at these types of movies.
I think this movie, it's a lot of fun. I think this is definitely going to satisfy most people, but I do think it's not going to be as big of a overall hit as the first one was. I think there's going to be a lot more mixed reviews on this. And it's unfortunate because it is finishing up the Wicked franchise, but
unless I've seen that there's rumors that it might not all be over, but who knows? Who knows?
So yeah, overall, I enjoyed the movie. Right now, I will tell you where I have it ranked out of all of my new releases that I've seen this year. I have it ranked at number 20 out of 28. So it's kind of low. But there's also been a lot of really, really good movies this year. So honestly, it had a lot to stack up to, mostly for somebody who's not a big musical fan and not a big fan of the Wicked franchise. So yeah. I'm looking forward to Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I'm looking forward to
You are?
Honestly, yeah, I didn't even see the first one, but I used to love
Josh
watching,
Hutcherson's in it.
yeah, and McKenna Grace.
I know, but Josh Hutcherson.
And I used to watch The Game Theory on him on Five Nights at Freddy's. If you know, you know. Did you guys watch The Game Theory on Five Nights at Freddy's? I used to watch that all the time, so I'm kind of hyped to see Five Nights.
What is that?
The Game Theory is this YouTuber, and he would do theories. He would explain the theories.
Oh, cool.
He'd be like, and that's just a theory, a game theory.
You are definitely somebody that just like you need to get to the bottom of it. Like you need to dissect things.
I didn't even really like playing games, but anyway, I like that. I'm excited for Avatar: Fire and Ash, and we'll see where everything lands. So Wicked for Good. What did you guys think? And that was our review. We're not in our normal setup. We'll be back there sooner than later, but the reviews will still come. Anyone else see the Clash Royale update video? Anyone else? Has everyone else looking at these Clash Royale update videos right now? They are adding heroic upgrades to cards. So normal cards are going to be getting heroic abilities, and that sounds awesome, but it's going to be the most pay-to-win bullshit I've ever seen. I just got back into the game, and I'm already dreading when I have to face a heroic giant that's going to throw my Mega Knight. Yeah, I'm a Mega Knight user. The guy is a lot of fun, and it makes me not have to worry too much about the game across the map. So, Mini P.E.K.K.A. level 21. I'm gonna. That's a review. Check in for the next one.